Good morning, children. Let us continue with the yesterday's topic. Today our first topic is variation in the living organism. Students, variation in the shape of the living organism you can see everywhere. Some organisms are big and some organisms are small. This is the picture of different types of cell. Each are having different types of shapes. Similarly, elephant is big animal, blue whale is a mammal and even bigger. So some are big, some are small depending on their ecological system. Okay. The next type of variation we are going to read about is variation in the mode of nutrition. So all living things require nutrition. And what is nutrition? Nutrition means acquiring and using raw materials needed for life processes. We all need nutrition to carry out our life, and there are two categories of nutrition: heterotrophic nutrition and autotrophic nutrition. So what is heterotrophic nutrition? Earlier also I explained you. Heterotrophic means eating others, the organism which cannot prepare their own food and ingesting food taking in other living organism. It includes all the herbivores, omnivores, carnivores and saprophytes. The next type of nutrition is autotrophic nutrition, that is self-feeding. The only autotrophs in this world is plants. They make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Let us see this mode of nutrition in more details. First of all, we are going to see insectivorous plants. So there are some plants which are autotrophs but they can also digest insects. They are called insectivorous plants. Example, pitcher plants, Venus flytrap. They are the examples of insectivorous plants. Okay. The next is, this is a picture of Amar bale. This type of plants do not make their own food but it take the food from other plants. See this Amar bale, they are called parasites. Okay. See how nicely it covers the other tree. These are called parasites. Okay. The next type of nutrition we are going to read about the plants which depend on dead and decaying matter for food. They are called saprophytes. For example, mushrooms. These are mushrooms. They depend on dead and decaying matter for their extraction of foods. Okay, so they are called saprophytes. Okay, children. And some other type of organisms are herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. So there is a lot of variation in the mode of nutrition of various living organisms. Okay. Nextly, we are going to learn about variation based on habitat. So living organisms have been categorized on the basis of whether they live on land, water or in a deserts. So first of all, we are going to learn about terrestrial plants and animals. So terrestrial plants and animals are those which live on land. Okay, so that's why they are called terrestrial plants and animals. Example, roses. Human beings lives on land. Horses, lions, cows, goats, neem, banyan tree, mango, etc. are all the examples of terrestrial plants and animals. So the organisms which live on land are called terrestrial organism and their ecosystem is called terrestrial ecosystem. Okay. The next is aquatic animals and plants. Animals and plants that are found living in water are called aquatic organism. Example, fishes, lotus. Aquatic animals like the fish are boat shaped while others have webbed feet like frogs and ducks. Okay, so what is aquatic habitat? The organism which lives on water are called aquatic animals and plants and their habitat is called aquatic habitat. See, the fishes are there in the water. So the stems and roots of water plants have air cavities that help them to float in water. You can see in the picture. These are few of the aquatic plants and animals. The next picture you are going to see is of water hyacinth. It has cavity in its leaves, so that's why it's able to float in the water. The next is xerophytic plants and animals. So the plants found in deserts and plant adapted to live in dry conditions are called xerophytic plants and plants. They have a range of adaptations to reduce the loss of water vapor. So the plants and animals of the desert have special adaptations like the cushionic hoofs of the camel. Okay, the stems of opuntia, see this is cactus opuntia, is a thick and succulent and the leaves are modified into spines. This is desert animal. Okay. This is Cactus opuntia. It is fleshy, but leaves are modified into spines. So children, for today we are ending here only. Next class we'll see more about this chapter. Till that time, thank you.